Crooked Creek, in the beginning. Hi, my name's Perry. My wife's name's Kim. And we want to tell you a little bit how we got to where we are today. This was property that we looked at probably 3 different times throughout a year. And something kept drawing us back to it. It was just a special place, and it was right at 9 acres, biggest part of it wooded, but it was a real blessing. There was plenty of brush that was piled up, that was pushed up, that we had to clean up. But we made the best of it, and we had a lot of fires. Kim and her mom found and stacked all the rock around that fire pit. And Kim always enjoyed being in charge of getting the fire going. She was the fire maker of the 2 of us. It did keep us warm. Chilly mornings with our coffee. What you're about to see is a wiki up that Kim built. She always liked to watch Les Stroud, a survivalist, and he would build a wiki up from time to time for shelter. She built a big wiki up, and it still stands today. That's a cross I built, just my way of thanking God for bringing us back to that property more than once to be our own for a while. Where we built the cabin, we didn't want anybody to be able to drive back to it, so we hauled all of the timbers and lumber and everything we used, biggest part of it on that little wagon. And all the timber that we did use were cedar trees that had been knocked down several years earlier by an ice storm. That was fun, trying to get a cedar post plumb, but we managed. Long, rocky trench to get water up that hill, but it was worth it. We didn't have to haul water from home anymore. That was very nice to have. My job, I go to work early, and I'm usually off work by noon or 1, and I would go out in the afternoons and work when I could. Very peaceful, very enjoyable. It was mainly me and Kim that we put the whole thing together. She was huge help. I was a little happy to have one side of the roof done. That's just a pretty evening picture. The one you're about to see is a glowing knot hole in the pine where the sun would come up, and that's what it looked like on the inside of the cabin through that knot. Kind of translucent. You can see a little bit of shadow in the background. That we kept our tent set up inside the structure once it was that far along. And our outdoor shower. It's crazy how many people wanted to take a shower there, but it worked. Again, our tent in the background, and we went through some storms up there. This is our outdoor kitchen, and again, all the timber that was used was all stuff from right there on the property. Nothing like breakfasts in the deep woods like that. Kim always had to have her coffee, so she was up early making sure that was ready. I like finding candid shots of people. This was how we kept our coffee warm. Good times. An old table right there that we would just sit over the fire. Just a wire table. Keep stuff warm. I had a 30-gallon food grade barrel that I set up underneath the counter of the outdoor kitchen with the hand pump. And this little oven somebody gave me made some of the best biscuits I have ever had. It was crazy how people wanted to help with Crooked Creek. This is Rob, and he wanted to come out and lay our fire pit and lay a wall around our shower as a little flower garden area. Kim's dad came out just helping us clean up. My brother's on the left. He gave the place the nickname of Crooked Creek Rednecks. And a lot of people along Crooked Creek Road ended up with shirts with Yosemite Sam shooting guns in the air with Crooked Creek Rednecks on it. If you were going to shoot, you were going to learn gun safety while you were there. It did not matter your age either, because we had a couple of young boys that would come out. That's Rob's son and his friend, and they weren't going to shoot unless they were taught proper safety and had the guidance they needed. Everything did start coming together for us. It's just so much self-gratifying, or gratification, I guess. Just seeing it. The headboard of our bed came from an old church window in North Carolina. I called this Kim's chandelier. She made this. And we set it up on a pulley system to lower it down and light it and pull it back up and tie it off. Provided a very nice warm light. Everything was really simple, but we were very content that way. Nothing fancy. This bucket you're about to see was something Kim asked me to make for her for Mother's Day several years ago, and it's still around, but we used it a lot before we got the outdoor kitchen in place. This was our 1963 Simplicity yard tractor, and I was only the second owner of that thing. It did make life easier. Crooked Creek didn't have a street sign, so Kim made one. Just another shot of the kitchen. Our sink was a East Coast seafood steamer. Just another shot of the cabin. By this time, we're just really enjoying the place a whole lot more. It's kind of crazy. So many people wanted to come out and see and visit, and people wanted to give us stuff. This was just a little reading area that Kim made. She put all that together. And our kids and grandkids always loved coming out, spending the day or the weekend. My son Brian loved his hammock. Our granddaughters, They were out, these pictures were in October, and they were determined they were going to take a shower. And it was a cold one, I guarantee it. Just another view from our living area. Coming up is a area I found where there were 3 or 4 graves right here. And I have a friend that does history on a lot of primitive graves, and she came out and authenticated that that was what I found. I just took some old cedars that I found laying around and stacked them around it just so that area would be left alone. People were very surprised when we decided to sell Crooked Creek. Our kids let us know they really didn't want us that far away as we got older, so if they needed to get to us to help us out for anything, we would be closer. We thought we would be there in our retirement years. I love the people that bought Crooked Creek. They're carrying it on, and I'm glad that they enjoy the vision that Kim and I had. But that's what leads us to where we are now. We have now got a new beginning, and we have a small homestead here in Kentucky. We are raising chickens and rabbits in our garden and crafting and building whatever we need to do and enjoying it. And I thank you for giving us your time, and I hope we see more of you.